Hello, hello. Let's change that formatting. How's it going, everybody? I see questions already in the chat, and I'm so excited that y'all are here with us today. Kelly asked our first question, where will this take place? So the Free America walkouts are taking place all across the country. As of today, there are 800 walkouts on the map. So I'm going to drop the link to the map for y'all. And you can find a walkout near you. So go ahead and grab that from the chat. You should see it. It's the action.womensmarch.com/calendars/Free America Weekend. It is not just a Free America Weekend, but don't worry about that link. But you can find your the walkout nearest you, rallying points, places that people are coming together and taking action on that map. So now if we're talking about office hours here, this is it. We are here in office hours. Office hours are not the walkout. This is not the walkout itself. The walkout is tomorrow, January 20th at 2 p.m. in your local time. So I'm going to leave that scrolling at the bottom of the page. Make sure that if you are posting about the Free America Walkout tomorrow, use hashtag Free America, hashtag Free America Walkout. This information is all scrolling at the bottom of the page for y'all. Or if you're on mobile at the top of the page, I apologize that the scroll at the top of the mobile page is very, very tiny. But all it says is walkout January 20th, 2 p.m. local time, hashtag Free America, hashtag Free America Walkout. So I'm here though today for office hours. If you have questions, if you have any concerns, or if there's anything that you need clarification on to make yourself feel more prepared for the Free America Walkout tomorrow, let me know. That's what I'm here for. We have a great team of organizers here at Women's March, volunteer coordinators. I am Risa. I'm the digital manager here at Women's March. I am your digital education programming, core person, and I am also here to help. So ask me questions. I will give you answers as best I can. We have a lot of toolkits for the Free America Walkout. We have student toolkits. We have a digital toolkit, which is full of information that is really helpful for people who are not traditionally in workplaces. We have a lot of retirees who are taking really great actions over the course of tomorrow. People are coordinating retail boycotts. They are coordinating rallying points for their communities. So when people walk out, they go somewhere specific. There are people doing walkout walk-ins. So for those walkout walk-ins, what that means is that people are walking out of work and they're walking over to their legislative offices. They're talking to their members of Congress or their members of Congress's staff, since it is a Tuesday afternoon and it is it is legislative session, or the legislature is in session. That means that if you are going to your legislator's district office, you are going to be talking to staff. Be polite to the staff. Speaking from experience, staff members are not the people voting in the legislature. Be nice to them. They're trying to help. Their job is to be there and to be the ears on the ground, to relay the messages of the community to the legislators that they work for. So keep it on the up and up. You don't have to get yourself kicked out of a legislative office to get your message across. But also, if they are, you can match energy all you need to. Not trying to tone police here, because obviously, why would we? But also, just letting you know how it kind of works in those legislative offices. So you can also call your members of Congress too. That is that's another one that a lot of people are doing. ICE out of Minneapolis is also calling on people to call their legislators. So if that is something that you want to do to add on to your walkout, by all means. So if you have questions, though, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer your questions about the Free America Walkout. So ask me questions, join me in the chat. And, you know, if you are just hanging out, let me know if you're walking out, where you're going to be walking out, or what you're going to be doing for your walkout experience. Hello to Maester Mercy from Kansas City. Very excited to have you walking out with us. I'll be sipping throughout this. This is also not like a formal mass call, webinar, or anything like that. These are office hours. So think of it like, you know, in college when your professors would have office hours, and, you know, you could go and ask a question, get some clarification on something. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer your questions. So ask them in the chat and I'm happy to answer. That's what we're here for. Hello, New Bedford. Thanks for being here, Bonnie John. That's fun to say. Let me know if you're going to be walking out too. Really happy to help people feel more comfortable with the process of walking out, with, you know, finding other people who are walking out as well. Some people who are in fields of work that really couldn't, you know, take the step out the door without putting their charges at risk. Like, let's think about teachers, nurses, doctors. Some of them are doing solidarity actions instead because they still want to be in support and solidarity. And also, they are in charge of some precious work. So we have people who are organizing group pictures wearing red, white, and blue and posting it tomorrow at 2 p.m. in their local time with hashtag Free America, hashtag Free America Walkout. We have a great question from Melly Oliveira. Oliveira, sorry about that. Do you have an example of how a walkout could look like at a middle school? Yeah. So it depends on your school. It depends on the teachers in the school, the administration. So if students are organizing their own walkout, we love to see students organizing their own walkouts, and we have a lot of students doing so. So the kids tell each other, and they walk out at 2 p.m. Some of them will congregate in maybe a central meeting place on campus, like a quad, or maybe in front of the front office, to gather together and talk through why they're walking out, talk about what a free America looks like to them. That's one of my favorite ways to talk through, or to one of my favorite activities for people who are gathered is envisioning a free America, not just what we're fighting against, but what we're fighting for. That's really what's important at the end of the day. So that's what middle schoolers can do. If there is a teacher who wants to sponsor and supervise, and that is allowed within that district, then, you know, that's an option. It's really going to depend, though. And so, Mel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the student toolkit, because we do have a toolkit just for students. So let me grab that link. I have a bunch of questions queued up in the chat, and I really appreciate y'all asking them. So let me grab that link for you. And you can also find all these links at freeameri.com. It is like freeameri.ca. So I'm going to drop that link first. We know it is .ca. A lot of people have pointed that out to us. And friends, we sure know it. It's visual. It says Free America, you know? So let me also drop that. You're going to find these toolkits in the resources, the Free America resources link. So I'm also going to drop that link. All right. And then we have the student walkout toolkit. That's going to be a less pretty link, but it is right there for you. All right. So thank you, Melly. I hope that your middle schoolers have a great walkout. What can I do if I'm home tomorrow and I don't have work tomorrow? How else can I walk out? I recommend going and visiting the map and seeing where people are gathering in your community. With 800 walkouts on the map, there is bound to be one pretty close to you, I hope. So go ahead and check the map and see what people are doing. But there are lots of other options as well, and we outlined some in the digital toolkit. I'm gonna like indicate what the links are as I drop them in the chat. So digital toolkit, that's the one that we just dropped. So some people are, blocking out their calendars. Some people are going silent on social media, or they are economically blacking out. Now, this is one that I love. Freeze your spending for the day. Don't go shopping. Don't eat out. Freeze your spending for the day tomorrow. And I think anybody can do this too. I don't think you have to be walking out, or I think you can do this if you're walking out. You don't have to be walking out to stop spending your money for a day. Take away your economic power. Some people are doing group pictures, wearing red, white, and blue, posting on social media with the hashtags down below. And they are also talking about what a free America looks like to them. You can call your members of Congress, of course. That is one that we love to see. So I'm going to get a little bit like in the weeds and academic here. So walking out is an act of civil resistance. It is refusing to comply with the systems as they are, because right now there is something broken within the systems. So we are pointing out that things are not normal, and therefore we will not act normally. It's non-compliance. It's non-cooperation. So that makes it civil resistance. So calling legislators is civic engagement. It is not rebelling against the system, but working within the system. So these are two acts that are not in competition with each other. They can go hand in hand. So you can call your members of Congress and make those demands. ICE out of Minnesota has great tools for this as well, and we are really encouraging people to be in solidarity with those activities. So those are some ways that I recommend walking out if you are not in a workplace. Gather with your community, share an online solidarity picture, meet up with other people. You can also organize virtual meetups if there are communities that you're a part of that you think are that would be amenable. If you are like part of a Hunger Games fan group, what better group to talk through the parallels between the literature and what we're experiencing right now? Same thing with Wicked. Gosh, there are so many that I can think of that I'm like just looking at on my bookshelf right above me. So think about the fandoms that you're a part of. If you're like a Star Wars fan, talk about the parallels. There are so many. Lord of the Rings is another one. We talk about Lord of the Rings here on the Women's March team all the time. So get in communication with your fandoms or with your Discord servers. Chat about it. People like to say like, oh, don't bring politics into media. It's all politics. It's all political. Star Wars is right in the name. So, you can engage with your virtual communities that way. There are so many ways that you can engage. So I've dropped the toolkits in the chat. Make sure to take advantage of that. All right. Hello, Natalie Wright. I'd love to know if there's a group that will be traveling together. How do you suggest we find each other? You can find each other on the map. And that is, I've dropped it in the chat a couple of times. I will drop it again. Find each other on the map. Oops, I just minimized my screen. Here we go. There you go. Find each other on the map. That link is going to be there in the chat. If you cannot open it from like Facebook or YouTube, just go ahead and like try to highlight it, copy it. But you can also find it at freeameri.co or Free America, our website. That is right there as well. So all of the resources that I mentioned here today are going to be at this website, the Free America website. And I'm going to drop that one in a banner as well, just so y'all have it. And it's very, very visible. There we go. I promise I can type. freeameri.co. There's got to be a better way to say that. And I don't want to put a timer on that one. So timer off. There we go. All right. So keep sending those questions. Thanks for asking. Oh, there's nothing to be late for. These are just office hours. I'm here to answer your questions and make sure that you feel comfortable for tomorrow's walkout. So if you have questions, Stars and Donna, let me know. Just ask them in the chat. This is not a formal webinar. This is not a mass call. This is just, me answering your questions. I'm Risa. I'm the digital manager here at Women's March. So happy to answer questions. All the resources that I'm mentioning and dropping in the chat are also available at our Free America website. That link is right here, or if you're on mobile, right up here. So make sure to take advantage of that website. We have a few tabs, events. That's going to take you to the map. That's where you're going to be able to find each other within your own communities. The demands are our vision for a free America, what we demand from the people in power. And this is also what we demand of each other. We also have a page for our partners, and we are so proud to be working with so many incredible organizations. We have 5051 as a key partner, Popular Democracy, Sunrise Movement, the ACLU of Oklahoma, Color of Change, Free DC, People's Action and Reproductive Freedom for All, Feminist, who has been an incredible media partner, Indivisible Oklahoma, lots of Indivisible chapters across the country, National Nurses United, let's see, Organizing Okies, Oklahoma City DSA, Indivisible OKC, lots, like I said, lots of Indivisible chapters. There are so many partners that we are so excited to be working with. And that is to say, this is a nationwide coalition effort. This is not just us. We are all in this together. We are all working toward a free America in tandem, and we are so excited to have you on the journey with us. Additionally, on the Free America website, we have an FAQ. We have a lot. There have been so many questions that we received. So we are really excited to make sure that that you have those answers. Sometimes we'll still get them in this chat, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for, because sometimes, the answer in text is not necessarily what you're expecting to hear and not what you need. So feel free to ask me your questions. I want to make sure that you feel safe, comfortable, and ready for tomorrow's walkout. We also have a resources page. This is where you're going to find social media graphics that you can post and share. If you are a wild poster, you can print and download some flyers, banners, posters. We have some photos of what wild posting is and where you can see that has been done across different cities. And then, of course, we have our toolkits. We have a walkout toolkit. So if you have just basic questions, what's a walkout? How do I walk out? The walkout toolkit is there for you. The digital toolkit is really great if you are not in a traditional workplace, or if you are in a workplace that is not necessarily one that you can or would be able to walk out of. We have a lot of teachers, doctors, nurses, medical care workers in general within the community of within the Women's March community. So we want to make sure that you can still participate too. And so the digital toolkit is going to be great for you. And then, of course, there's the student walkout toolkit. Student considerations are kind of unique. Students do have First Amendment rights, but schools also can impose their own consequences because they are legally in charge of kids. They can be marked absent from their classes for doing a walkout. That's a risk that a student would have to choose to take or not themselves. So students, talk to your parents, talk about what this means to you, and how this is an important way to flex your muscle if it means that much to you. I remember, like, I'll talk about my first walkout. My first walkout was for the Iraq War, my freshman year of high school, because we knew that it was a bill of goods. We didn't want our friends, our peers, to be shipped overseas for a war for oil. And so that was my first walkout. I walked out of the freshman year. What would it be? Like, it was our social studies equivalent class. I think that was like world government, or not world history, but I think it was world government basically. But it was MUN as well. Walked out of that class, and the professor and like the senior teachers were like, "Yeah, see ya." And in fact, one of the senior teachers ended up walking out too. And in fact, I think the senior teachers from MUN were some of the biggest circulators and organizers of this walkout. So that was my first experience with a walkout. That was my freshman year of high school. So if that tells you anything about my age, I don't care. Don't tell each other. I'm just yapping over here. This is just office hours. This is informal. I'm answering your questions. So ask your questions. Let me help you get comfortable with the walkout tomorrow. And keep in mind too, the walkout is not the end. The walkout, think of the walkout as getting out of the starting block, because we have a lot of work ahead of us. One day of action is not going to make the government roll over. It's not going to make the people in power hand over their power. Our work right now is going to be ongoing, persistent, consistent civil resistance. We have a lot of work to do on that front. So we'll be continuing this work throughout the year and as long as we need to. Keep an eye out on your emails if you are a part of the Women's March emails. We are going to be sharing a training and a follow-up on Thursday night. We have a mass call where you'll get to find out first what is in the pipeline, what is coming up next, and it's going to be big. So you'll also get trained on non-cooperation. We're really excited to have freedom trainers joining us on Thursday night. So make sure that you are that you're signed up to receive emails from Women's March. And otherwise, keep an eye on our social media. You can also stay up to date with Women's March from the app. We do have a Women's March app. So if you would like to be part of the Women's March app community, let me know. And I'm going to grab that link and drop it in the chat for everybody. Let me just find it. I always lose this link. It's great. I will come back to the app link because we have a question from Natalie. I'm conflicted. I have a great job that I love with a startup that really helps a lot of people. I believe the owner is a passive Republican and will not be walking out. I don't want to hurt our business because I really love it, but I do want to do the walkout. Go with your conscience. And sometimes the way I look at it is that I'm not trying to hurt the business, right? I am going more after the system. And this is a way that people are expressing their voices. If you think that, now this is not legal advice, want to give that disclaimer. Some people are checking in with their management and seeing, this is something that is really important and weighing on my conscience. I would like to take a few minutes to participate in this as a means of civil resistance and personal expression. Is this workable? Some people, though, are instead using their break time. So if you have 15-minute breaks, if you have 10-minute breaks, if you have a lunch break, some people are using that time to participate in the walkout. You don't necessarily have to log out for the entire day. You don't have to leave. It's not, you don't have to go participate in a rally, in a any kind of congregation. You can just walk out for 10-15 minutes, and that's one way to participate. Now, SMB, we need to shut down the country and stop spending money. You know what? That's one way that a lot of people are participating tomorrow, is they are both walking out and they are refusing to spend their money tomorrow. That's a really powerful way. And it's not just we have to do this. This is the thing that's going to fix everything for us. It is a yes and. There are going to be so many different things that come up, and there are so many different ways that we are going to need to fight back and push back on this broken system. So absolutely, stop spending your money. And keep in mind, this walkout is a stress test. If anybody is familiar with union practices, organization or unions will do strike tests to see if they are strike ready. And so for us, this walkout is a way of testing and seeing how many people are willing to do that uncomfortable thing, to walk out, even if they love their jobs. We're seeing how many people are comfortable walking out, not to flip off their coworkers and their workplaces, but to push back on the system and to insist that these are not normal times and we cannot act normally. So this is a yes and. This is a way that we are building the muscle for civil resistance, because if we asked everybody, go on a general strike this Friday, how many people do you think we could get to do that? We can get a lot, but I think a lot of people would be disappointed that the world would stay afloat. So we have to build up. It takes a lot of muscle building to get to a place where we really can effectively shut things down. So tomorrow, like I said, it is a stress test. It is a way that we are building our muscle for civil resistance, and we are getting people comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think that's one of the hardest things about being in this moment, is that we have to escalate our actions because this administration is escalating theirs. One of the core branches of federal law enforcement is operating outside of the law with no consequences whatsoever. They are violating the Fourth Amendment, breaking into people's cars and homes with no cause. They are racially profiling people, and the Supreme Court has given it a green flag. This administration has escalated significantly. So must we. And that is really hard for a lot of people, because we are also in a place of being economically stressed. It is not an easy place to be in as Americans, as people trying to survive within this system. And we hear it, we feel it. So we are really sympathetic to that, and trying to help people build that muscle for that kind of resistance, and also for getting uncomfortable. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. Terry Kavanaugh says, I thought it's the 23rd. The Free America walkout is tomorrow at 2 p.m. On the 23rd, ICE out of Minnesota is also doing citywide blackouts, economic blackouts. They are calling for people to call Congress, call Enterprise, and email the Hilton hotel chain. So there are lots of calls to action for the 23rd, and we are doing yes and. So tomorrow, January 20th, is the Free America Walkout. That's 2 p.m. your local time. So whenever it's 2 p.m. for you, that's when you walk out. I am on Pacific time. So at 2 p.m. my time, if you are on the East Coast, that would be 5 p.m. your time. I will be walking out at 2. All right. So yes, there is something happening on the 23rd that is Ice Out of Minnesota. And also tomorrow is the Free America Walkout. The longer we keep the economy going, it keeps fueling the regime. Yeah. And it's going to take some really tough muscle building. It's going to take building up really strong mutual aid networks. And as we call it academically, parallel institutions. The Black Panther Party were pioneers of this, building parallel institutions. They pioneered breakfast programs and school lunch programs for kids because that's how they needed to survive within the community. So we have to strengthen our mutual aid muscle in order to really be able to completely shut down the economy. They'd really freak out if the Grammys, aunties, and mommies in constitutional carry states exercised their rights and carried their sidearms and long guns in protest. It's legal, y'all. Yes, and that is your prerogative. We as an organization are big fans of nonviolent civil resistance. So that is your legal right, y'all. What to do when we walk out the door? This needs to be explained. And if one can only take a 30-minute break, yeah, that's it. Take your 30-minute break. That's great. You walked out. When you walk out the door, take a break, take a walk, take a breather. Envision a free America. Maybe post a picture of yourself wearing red, white, and blue. Post a picture of yourself, having walked out with hashtag Free America Walkout. There are, you can also join with members of your community. The map is, but what do we do? That's up to you. We're not trying to necessarily be prescriptive of how, of what you do when you walk out. We just want you to walk out. Don't spend your money. That's one thing that we do want to, encourage is withdraw your economic power, withhold your economic power. Don't spend your money. Additionally, walkouts are a way of withholding our labor. That's the point of the walkout. So, that's your choice. Glad you have your peace flag ready. We do also have, I don't know if we have the Free America flags ready for order, unfortunately. So, yeah. Thanks for joining us, Kelsey Z. You just joined the live, and could I give a description for why we're doing this? You want to know what to tell other people? Absolutely. So the Free America Walkout is a way of escalating. The administration is escalating, and so must we. Rather than just marching in the streets, we are withholding our labor. We are withholding our economic power. We are demonstrating that times are not normal, and therefore we cannot act normal. We cannot go along with business as usual when business as usual is killing people in the streets just for being there. So there's lots of information as well at Free America, our website. So I'm going to throw that right up here on the screen. You can also grab that information. There we go. I'm going to drop that link in the chat. There's a lot of information on this website, so please take advantage of the Free America website. You can find out really a lot of the why, how, and resources. We also have a list of demands. This is really our vision of what a free America looks like, because we are not just fighting against, we are fighting for. Our movement has to know what we are fighting towards, because when we win, we have to know what comes next. and what we're building toward. So that is why we have our vision of a free America on the website in our demands. So go ahead and grab that in the chat. You can also grab it from the link right here. If you're on mobile, the link is right up here. That is, in fact, a link. Just type it in exactly as you see it, and it'll take you to the right place. And that will also link you to the map. If you look for events, that is going to take you on the Free America website. That is going to, my apologies, y'all, take you to the map, the Free America Walkout map that shows you what's happening in your local community. Now, if there is not one already in your local community, congratulations, you can organize one, and we are so happy to help you make it happen. All right. I'd love to get more involved. I'm a digital admin for a movement in Utah and would love to join this group as well. This isn't a group. This is Women's March, but we're super happy to have you with us. I know that there are a couple walkouts happening in Utah too. I was just talking with someone on our Friday office hours about a walkout that they are leading in Salt Lake City. So make sure to check the map, and you'll be able to find each other. You can also, if you do want to join a group, join Pantsuit Nation. It is available. That is our group. So we post a lot of updates there. I am also still frantically searching for the link to the Women's March app, because we do, in fact, have a Women's March app. So I want to make sure that y'all can join the community here. I will try to find that and drop that in the chat. Let me find. Where is the link? Gotta have that link. I literally had this link. There we are. I was clicking everywhere but the right place. All right. Let me invite people. Send invites. There we go. I'm going to drop the link to the app right here if y'all want to join the app. I do have to approve your request to join. So just so you know, real people look at the app invites because we do want to make sure that, y'all aren't going to troll the community. That is really important to us. Absolutely. We cannot give up. We will keep going. That is the goal. We are working together. We are moving in the same direction. Even if one organization isn't like a lead organizer on something, that doesn't mean we're not supporting each other. We are so proud to be in coalition and community with so many organizations. 5051 is a key partner with us for Free America Walkout, Sunrise Movement, Reproductive Freedom for All, Feminist has been an incredible partner, People's Action, lots of indivisible chapters, the ACLU of Oklahoma, Third Act is an organization for folks who are retired, and they've been fantastic. Voto Latino is another one. Popular Democracy, they've come up with this idea of democracy dinners where you invite people over. It's almost like an intellectual salon kind of a dinner. All right, so does anyone know why the walkout event in Philly is listed for 5:30 instead of 2? Yeah, so some people are walking out at 2, but then other people are organizing rallies for after work. It is not a one or the other, it is a yes and. We are so excited for people to bring each other together. So, some spots or some people are organizing rallying points that are going to be available before 2 p.m. Just so people can, be there to receive each other. So a lot of people are doing this a lot of different ways. It is not a one size fits all. We want people to work together, to move in the same direction, and to be in solidarity with each other, however that looks. Exactly as Sean is putting it, participate in any way you can. Withdraw your economic power. Stop spending for the day. Pause spending, as we've been saying. Withhold your labor. Some people are digitally blacking out their hour, the hour of 2 o'clock, putting calendar holds so they can't take meetings, putting up away messages in Slack. That's yet another way to participate. So, go with your conscience. Like I said, go with what works for you. And if you are in a higher risk situation, if you are a care worker, if you are in a position that isn't necessarily at liberty to leave your charges behind, like teachers, that's okay too. Do what you can. Withhold your economic power. Don't spend. Join these rallies after work. There are several. Do what fits your life. And if you are a teacher and you have students who want to walk out, maybe you are a teacher sponsor, or like you can supervise the students. There are lots of creative ways to get involved. You can also take group pictures, get pictures together, or get a picture with some peers wearing red, white, and blue, and post it at 2 p.m. saying, we can't walk out, but we're in solidarity. #Free America. Something like that. There are lots of ways to take action, and it is not one size fits all. We are really aware and sympathetic to the constraints that people live and experience. So, we are really trying to make sure that people have alternatives and options, and we're giving offerings that people can take or leave. We are all free people, free to choose how we resist. It is effective. This regime doesn't like us protesting. They sure don't. That's the fun part, right? And there are so many so many different ways to engage in civil resistance. I am a really big fan of tactical frivolity. One of my favorites is the frogs. There is such an absurdity to to law enforcement officers and ICE in particular getting so angry at people in frog suits. It is goofy. It makes them look like idiots because it's really stupid. It is so stupid to be so angry at people exercising their First Amendment rights and doing so in frog costumes. Do we have to notify the local police if we host a sign holding event on a public street corner? Check your local city ordinances. I'm not sure. And this is area where it might be in the corner of like legal advice that I am not qualified to give. So I would check with your city ordinances. To the best of my awareness, I don't think you do. It's a public corner. You do have free speech rights in public. So, yeah, I personally don't see why that would be a problem. I would check in on your city ordinances just to be sure and safe. All right, unicorns. Oh yeah, yes, the unicorns. Much like the frogs. Yeah, I think tactical frivolity though is so impactful because it points out the absurdity and the ways that that power really overcompensates. That people are just being silly little guys, silly geese, if you will, and the disproportionate overreaction by ICE, by other federal agencies. It looks absurd because it is absurd when people are just being goofy. That's why I think it's so powerful. That's also why we did kick out the clowns last year. That was our big summer, our big summer engagement that we put on a farce that pointed out the absurdity of this administration, and it really does. It annoys them. It is a tool to shine a light on the absurdity and to like make them look stupid by being so angry about it. Thanks so much from Quebec. Really, really grateful for our international supporters. There are so many. We also, we also have friends from, more friends from Quebec. So thank you so much. We have a huge international community that is acting in solidarity. You can check out the map. There are international actions. It's incredible. There are going to be people at The Hague. So it's a big deal. It's so humbling and incredible that we have such incredible support across the world. We're in all 50 states plus Puerto Rico. So we've really got some spread here. I know that we have some actions happening up in Canada. Absolutely. There are lots of symbols. We are also asking people to, the solidarity colors that we're encouraging people to wear are red, white, and blue. I think this is like the one office hours that I did not wear red, white, and blue. My bad, y'all. But also I got called Waldo last time because I was wearing a red and white striped shirt. So that was cool. But yeah, dress up. We're red, white, and blue. That is what we're encouraging people to wear as solidarity colors, because patriotism is not exclusive to the regime. My feeling on patriotism personally is that it is a demand for us to live up to our promise. Patriotism requires us to be our best selves as a nation. That's what I really, what I believe. It is wanting better for each other and for ourselves. It is really us wanting that, really taking action to live up to who we aspire to be. All right. So yeah, we're red, white, and blue. It is our flag too. Thank you for approving our Free America Walkout event at Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro. Yes, we are still trying to get the word out amongst students. So if anyone knows any students at MTSU, please let them know that we're walking out at 2 p.m. and meeting at Forest Hall. Thanks. Yes. My recommendation, flyer up. If you're allowed to, I think some campuses have different rules about that. But also it's like, if it's tomorrow, it'll come down pretty fast anyway. Especially if it gets posted anonymously. I don't know. But find out what your campus rules are. I don't know what they are. Some campuses are more strict about it. But yeah, flyer up. Really so excited to see universities getting in. Actually, you know what? Now that makes me curious. All right. Oh my goodness, we have one near me. Let's see. I'm trying to see if my campus is having one. You would think I would organize one, but so I'm Risa. I'm the digital manager here at Women's March. My campus actually comes back to school tomorrow. Tomorrow is syllabus day. It's a rough day for a walkout because if people do not attend class, they get dropped from the class. That is pretty risky, especially when you have paid for these classes. So, but that being said, CSU Los Angeles is having theirs though. So, this is one of those areas where you want to assess your own risk as well. Also, for me to organize a walkout right now, that's really rough because I will be with you all tomorrow. I will be here. I will be watching. I will be our digital eye in the skies. So if you have any questions, if anything comes up for you tomorrow during the walkouts, reach out to us. If you're on the app, DM me on the app. If you are on social media, throw us a line on social media. You can email organizing at womensmarch.com. Oh my goodness, Lunette in Claremont, you're my neighbor. Yeah, if you're so moved, if prayer is your thing, if that is something that moves you and speaks to what is important to you, absolutely pray for the free America you envision, right? There are so many different ways to express how we want this to come together, how we want a free America to come to be. And so, some people are doing prayer circles. Some people are doing chant circles and hymnals, and some people are. I've seen a sing in, which I thought was super cute. Whatever moves your spirit, man. Let's go for it. All right, and yeah, shout out to Lunette. Right, we have so many. Let's see, there's CSU LA. I wonder if Long Beach, Pacifica High School. Go Garden Grove. I'm looking at California right now just because, that's near me. Biased, right? But I am going to look for, let's see what high schools. Yeah, there's some fantastic high school things going on. It's not going to filter that for me. That's okay. There are lots of folks taking action in lots of different ways. We have middle schoolers walking out. Even the middle schoolers know that something's up. So we're really proud of our students who are taking action, walking out, leading each other to a free America. The kids are all right, man. It's such good news. We're really, really proud of the kids who are organizing in their schools and in their communities. So Tamala, thank you so much for asking. So the Free America Walkout is January 20th, 2 p.m. We've been, talking about this one since early December. And so we are still also, though, encouraging people to take action on the 23rd in solidarity with ICE out of Minnesota. This is not a one or the other. This is a yes, and we are really proud to stand in solidarity with the people around us, with the communities in great need at this moment. So there are some demands from ICE out of Minnesota that we are going to be encouraging people to take. That includes calling Congress, calling Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and emailing the Hilton Corporation, because we want to make sure that people are acting in solidarity across the board, not just tomorrow, not just the 23rd, but for the year. So it's a yes and. It's not just the 23rd, and it's not just tomorrow. All right. Unfortunately, it looks like 5 degrees in Buffalo tomorrow and a snowstorm. Hopefully we get plenty of cooperation. And you know what, Terry? There are lots of ways to also take action digitally. We are really encouraging people to, really at the end of the day, we're encouraging people to withhold their economic power, withhold your labor. So walking out isn't just physically walking out of a door. It can be turning on an away message on Slack. It can be blocking off your calendar so you don't take meetings during that hour. We are encouraging people to withhold your economic power by pausing your spending. So by all means, do what fits your life, what is within the realm of capability for you. We want y'all to be safe. We want you to be to feel prepared, but we also really hope that you will take action in solidarity. You can also post group pictures in red, white, and blue using hashtag Free America, hashtag Free America Walkout. Call your members of Congress. That is an act of civil engagement, not civil resistance. But we love it. These are not either ors. It's all yes and at this point, right? Right now, the budget bill is, I think the amended budget bill is due in what, January 30th? So we need people to call members of Congress, tell them not to give ICE any more money, cut ICE's budget. Really, we want to abolish ICE. That is that is our line here at Women's March. So call your member of Congress. Tell them to make sure that this unjust activity, lawlessness in the hands of law enforcement, is not rewarded with more funding. All right. Thank you so much for standing with us in Kitchener. It's amazing to see the international support for the walkouts. We are really proud to stand in solidarity with all of you as well. And we thank you so much for being part of the Women's March community. There are so many ways for people to take action. There are lots of international activities. I mentioned this a little while ago. There are people who are going to be rallying at The Hague. That's just so cool. It's like a politics dork rallying at The Hague. How cool is that? So thank you to our neighbors up north. There are a few of you in the chat today, and really we are so moved by your support and care for us as your neighbors. So wow, that's a problem. There we go. We're better now. I've been yapping for the last hour, but I've been here to answer your questions about the Free America Walkout. Make sure that you all feel safe, ready, and comfortable. Stay warm out there. I know that there are going to be some people still going out and braving the cold. Be safe, please. By all means, get hot hands. Bundle up. I guess there was football talk about putting cayenne in your shoes. I don't know what that's all about, but apparently it worked for the people on the field. I don't know. So yeah, that's one I've never heard of that, but if that's something that you think might work for you, give it a try. Let me know how it goes. All right, Chicago is in too. We must bring down this criminal regime that only represents a small minority of voters. And it only represents a small minority of the American populace. Y'all, people do not turn out to vote. What was it? Like a third of the country voted? And so few people voted that I get it. I do. I think people have seen, and I think, being a millennial, we've watched so many elections where the popular vote is inconsistent with the outcome of the election itself. And that's so frustrating. And it feels so disenfranchising that people will opt to check out of the system rather than participate in it. And that is by design. It is disempowering on purpose. Just as Steve Bannon puts it, flooding the zone, it's on purpose. It's to overwhelm us. It's to discourage us. It's to make us look in so many directions that we don't know where to look. So we would rather just put on our blinders, keep our heads down, and tune out. It is on purpose. So it is so important to stay engaged, to stay in the fight. It is so important to engage with the system and resist against it. It is not either or, it is yes and. The last year was the year of yes and this year is going to be the year of yes and for me as well. So I encourage you all to also embrace the yes and of this moment, because we have so much to do. There are so many different ways that we are going to be operating that we really encourage, looking at each opportunity as an opportunity. Not looking at different activities as competing with each other, but instead we are all working in tandem. We are all working forward to this vision of a free America. That's what we're here for. All right. And we have thanks in the chat too for the Canadians, Europeans, and the rest of the world who are supporting us. Yes, Kimberly, it is really so heartening that, we have such great international support, that people care. And we want, I know that we want the best for the world, and we want the best for ourselves, and we want the best for each other as neighbors and as friends across the globe. So we are we're so thankful for all that support across the world. Your senators and members of Congress need to hear from you every day. Tie up the switchboard. Yes, engage in civil engagement. This is so important. Engage with your legislatures. Make demands. Tell them what to vote for and what to vote on. They represent you. So Congress has a switchboard, and so you just have to call one number, and then they will tell, like, it'll direct you to your member of Congress. And if you, I can find that number. Congress switchboard. All right, so there are two numbers. It is, I'm going to drop them in the chat. These are the numbers that you call to reach your legislators. There we go. 202-224-3121 for the House. Oh, it's the same. It's the same for House and Senate. Okay. My bad, y'all. Yeah, same switchboard. Okay. So yeah, 202-224-3121. If you call that number and ask for your senator, your representative, and I think they ask for your zip code, they'll tell you how to reach them. In fact, you know what? I will, while I have y'all, why don't I do this right now? I'm going to call my member of Congress and just ask them to make sure that ICE doesn't get, hello? Oops. My bad, y'all. I did this wrong. Let me try it again so I do it right. So I'm just going to put it on speakerphone. I'm going to let y'all hear what it's like when you call the congressional switchboard, just so you can get a feel for what that's going to be like. And then I'm going to pull up the ICE out demands because there are some really great demands. I'm just going to ask my member of Congress to abolish ICE, though. Where did it go? I have a whole group of tabs for this information. So I'm just going to try to pull that up. Oh, I keep grabbing the wrong tab. Here we go. All right, the demands. ICE must leave Minnesota now. The officer who killed Good must be held legally accountable. No additional federal funding for ICE in the upcoming congressional budget. And yeah, I think those are the ones that we can send to Congress. Ooh, love this from Dr. King. The 5 Calls app is wonderful for your representatives and provides a script as well. We love to see this. Yes, yes. Thank you, Lunette. All right, so I'm going to call Congress really quick. We are over time already, but I just want y'all to hear what it's like to call that switchboard. So I'm going to keep it on speaker.
You've reached the United States Capitol Switchboard. Please say the name of the senator or representative that you are trying to reach, or say, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Which are you trying to reach? You can say senator or representative.
Representative.
To reach your representative, tell me your 5-digit zip code.
Sorry, y'all don't need to know that.
There are 3 congressional districts for zip code 91767
Judy Chu.
Say District 28. 4 Gil Cisneros. Say District 31.
44. Norma Torres.
Say District 35.
District 35.
Say repeat.
District
Please
35.
hold while I connect your call.
Thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman Norma Torres, representing California's 35th Congressional District. If you have reached us after business hours, please leave a voicemail with your name, phone number, and/or email so we can get back to you. You can also reach us at our website at torres.house.gov. Have a nice day.
Hi, my name is Risa, and I'm a constituent from the city of Pomona. I wanted to encourage the representative to make sure that in the upcoming budget that no additional federal funding for ICE should be allocated, and that ICE should be investigated for human and constitutional violations of Americans and our neighbors. I would also like her to make sure that the officer who killed Renee Nicole Good be held legally accountable. If ICE is to continue operating, which I don't think it should, it must be legally accountable, and it must not be above the law if it is to enforce the law. Thank you so much. That's it. Simple as that. And you know what? Defund ICE, impeach Kristi Noem. Yeah, those are really great demands. We're really excited that Representative Robin Kelly has put forward a bill to impeach Kristi Noem. That's a really good demand too. So you can call your member of Congress every day. Make sure they know that you are a constituent. If you are not a constituent, they may not count your call. That's just kind of how it works. So thank you all for joining me for office hours. If you have more questions, catch us on social media, catch us on the app, email organizing@womensmarch.com, and we can support you and help. You can reach me directly. I am Risa, RESA, @womensmarch.com. So thank you again. Thank you for walking out. We are so thrilled to be in community with all of you, to take action together, and to work toward a free America. See you on the streets tomorrow. Bye.